Hello, welcome. Thanks for coming by again today. How are you? Let's have a couple seconds of chat before we get to our practice today. I have the two little baby rescue poodles. Well, they're not such little babies anymore. Buddy's 10-ish, but here they are. This is Buddy and Lucky. And right outside my window here, there's a real big turtle that has dug a hole and is having babies. And so I'm just trying to keep them here with me. Ah, there, the little one went away. He already knows. So he may see the turtle and it may cause a ruckus. We'll see. I'm not going to draw attention to it. But thank you so much for coming by. We're here in this community every single day, and we're in our sixth year. And this year, it's brought us to the practice of being present. And it's unbelievable to me that we're already halfway through May. So, I mean, wow. And I think we should probably bring a little more conversation into to our front of mind awareness by a couple other teachers of that speak of being present. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have a little bit of conversation from them, since this is our conversation this year, and ultimately the goal is for us to embrace the message and have it make sense to us and create magic by us learning these things, right? These messages resonating with us and hopefully making some kind of magic concoction and lets us see life even on a different frequency, if you will. But I know that it definitely affects my vibration, and that's everything to me. So in efforts to aid us in this conversation of being present, I really am hoping to get myself included, releasing some of the stimulation, such as the turtle and the dogs, and you pick what else. We have no shortage. We have no shortage of things competing for our attention. So it's a real true practice. It's a beautiful practice, and I thank you for being here for it. I'm going to put the music on because that does lend itself to the availability of this tool, this beautiful music by Chris Collins. But for me, when I listen to the music, honestly, closing my eyes is the best thing for me because it kind of stops the stimulation from coming in. But closing my eyes and breathing a couple breaths with this music does allow me to settle and soften. And I can feel my forehead, releasing and just softening, even the facial expressions, the smile that you're hanging on to, just letting everything soften. Shoulders away, shoulders away from the ears in a relaxed sense, right? And we can have nice spinal alignment in a relaxed sense. And that's, to me, very important. If I'm not relaxed, I'm not benefiting. Different schools of thoughts, different opinions, of course. I do value mine. It's bringing me, it's carrying me, it's carrying me. This softness that I've decided to share with myself, that I've been giving away to many others throughout my entire life, right? Yes. conscious decision was made for me to love myself, and it has been a remarkable path filled with joy. The practice was not always easy. It is much easier now than it used to be. I actually kind of like it. And being present for our own lives is the practice we're at today. You don't need to buy anything. We're here every single day. The book we're following this year is the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. This New York Times best-selling book is described as having the life you want by being present to the life you have. That's why, for me, being present for this message is important, because I really want to hear it. The message we're offered today for this day number 1935 is titled The Risk to Bloom. The Risk to Bloom. And then there's a quote here by Anais Nin that says, "And then the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk to bloom." Take a breath with it. Relax it all. We're taking a sacred pause. There's no rushing that. And then the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than to risk to bloom. We all face this turning point repeatedly, when resisting the flow of inner events suddenly feels more hurtful than leaping toward the unknown. Yet no one can tell us when to leap. There is no authority to bless our needs to enter life but the God within us. Oh, ooh, baby, holy smokes. So we do all risk this turning point repeatedly, when resisting the flow of inner events suddenly feels more hurtful than leaping toward the unknown. Yet no one can tell us when to leap but the God within us. How often we thwart ourselves by holding tenaciously to what is familiar. It is instructive, if chilling, that in floral shops, the roses that won't open are called bullets. They are discarded because they will never bloom. They have turned in on themselves so tightly that they can never release their fragrance. Yet as spirits in bodily form, we have the chance to tighten and bloom more than once. But even spirits, if turned in on themselves enough, may grow accustomed to being closed. Unlike roses, however, the human chamber can be shut down for years. And still, it takes but one breath from the true center, and we will flower. No matter how many years. Take a breath with that. I know that. I know that one. I was closed down for years. It takes but one breath from the true center, and we will flower. It has always amazed and humbled me how we risk to bloom, how thee risk to bloom. It has always amazed and humbled me how the risk to bloom can seem so insurmountable beforehand, and so inevitably be freeing once the threshold of suffering is crossed. I have a friend in recovery, and when asked what made him stop drinking, he says, the pain of drinking became greater than the pain of not drinking. The same can be said for us all. We can flower in an instant as soon as the pain of not flowering and not loving become greater than our fear. My mind is recognizing time slots. When this took place, right? Part of my growth, God willing here, is me recognizing these things a little bit sooner. I don't want to wait so long. This is what I've noticed as pattern for me in this beautiful years here of these conversations. Self-reflection, growth, recognizing that so I'm not staying there as long before I take this one breath up from my true center. Let's see what the meditative exercise they offer us today. Try to identify what scares you most about being who you are in the world. Let's take a breath with this, seriously. Drop another layer in, release another layer. Only a couple more minutes will be here. Try to identify what scares you most about being who you are in the world. Fully. I know there would be a time when I would have thought, oh, that's pretty dramatic. Come on. But after this years of self-study, of the workshops with women, of conversations with self-love experts, wellness field, women that help this, our need to flourish. This is so real. And maybe if we don't hear it, maybe we're a little too tight. Let's try to open that butt up. Try to identify what scares you most about being who you are in the world. And as you meditate, imagine the God in you warming your fears open. Notice what it feels like to have your center safely exposed, even for a moment. With that breath, take a breath with that. That breath come into that space. Without telling anyone, imagine this moment of opening sometime during your day, whether you're at your desk, on the bus, or in the line at the supermarket. But imagine this moment of opening sometime during your day. And then note what it feels like to have your center safely exposed, even for a moment, in the presence of others. And then repeat this meditation whenever you start to feel your sense of things tighten. Take a breath, take it in, repeat it, feel it, let it take root in you like a healing medicine. Deep breath in. Oh, let it all go. Let it go like dark smoke that immediately dissolves as soon as it leaves your body. The risk to bloom. Thank you, Mark Nepo. Thank you for sharing your presence here and your loving energy. Please visit zenfulconversations.com. We have workshops that'll be popping up. We have one scheduled for next Thursday. If you're watching this live, we're talking about Thursday, May 23rd at 4 p.m. Eastern. Sign-up link is on zenfulconversations.com. But thank you so much for coming by, and we'll see you tomorrow. Namaste. Namaste.